Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Imam Sahib is saying that by the grace and mercy of Allah, in another month of Ramadan came into our lives. Allah enabled us to go through this blessed month, and now only a few days are left. May Allah enable us to enable every single moment of this month of Ramadan to become a blessing for us, and its blessings and mercy should continue, and we may receive them throughout our lives. Ameen. Imam Sahib is saying he wishes to take up another subject in today's tradition, and that is mosques and its etiquettes. A mosque is called the house of Allah, and in fact it is the place where Allah's nearness is granted, and salat and mosques and remembrance of Allah, so which are all found in the mosque. So it is important to learn as many hadiths about this as possible, and one should try to seek blessings in the mosques, and this should be a part of the life of a believer. In this regard, there are many traditions, and in a few of them Imam Sahib says he wishes to mention in order to remind us, so that in these last few days of Ramadan, that you are able to establish and strengthen your relationship with the mosque, and this should continue on other days that has been established in the month of Ramadan. In this regard, the first tradition has been related by Usman bin Affan Radhiyallahu anhu, and this is taken from the book of called Muslim Sharif, and the translation is that Usman bin Affan Radhiyallahu anhu relates that he heard the Holy Prophet ﷺ say that whoever constructs a mosque for the sake of Allah, for him Allah will make a home in the heaven, a similar home in the heaven. This is a very well-known tradition, and it should always be remembered that the mosque is a place for worship. So if anyone is being granted the fortune and the blessing to be able to construct a mosque, then it's always a source of blessing for that person. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ prayed this prayer, and he assured people that in order to earn the pleasure of Allah, if someone constructs a mosque not to make it for fame, then he will be guaranteed and ensured a home in heaven. So it means that person will gain entry into heaven, and the mosque he makes in this world will be given to him as a reward, as in the form of a home in the heaven. Imam Sahib is saying that if Allah enables one, then one should construct a mosque in your own area or in some other area where a mosque is required, and there if one gives the expenditure for making a mosque, then this will become a glad tidings of an entry to heaven in this life. So in this regard, Imam Sahib is saying that if there is not enough money to construct a whole mosque, but one can become a part of it by giving some money towards a mosque fund. Imam Sahib is saying that people go to the mosque 5 times a day, or sometimes even more, and they try to gain benefits from it, and one sharpens one's faith in the mosque. So if for the sake of the construction of the mosque, if some money is given, then one should this is extremely blessed for us. So this is a good deed that should always be kept in mind. And the next tradition is been reported by Fatima Zahra anha, and she said that the Holy Prophet ﷺ's practice was that when he was about to enter the mosque, he would say this prayer, and the Arabic words of this are إذا دخل المسجد قال بسم الله والسلام على رسول الله اللهم اغفر لي ذنوبي وافتح لي أبواب رحمتك. In some traditions, the words are slightly different, but these words that I have said are from Musnad Ahmad bin Hanbal, which is a book of traditions. And then it says, وَإِذَا خَرَجَ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ وَصَلَاتُ عَلَى رَسُولِ اللَّهِ اللَّهُمَّ اغْفِرْ لِي ذُنُوبِي وَافْتَحْ لِي أَبْوَابَ فَضْلِكَ. And the translation of this is that when the Holy Prophet ﷺ would enter a mosque, then at that occasion he would say this prayer, and the translation is that that in the name of Allah, may the blessings be on the Holy Prophet ﷺ. O my Allah, forgive my sins and open your doors of mercy for me. And when you finish the salat and you're going out, then the prayer should be that the words of which you have heard, and the translation is that, O Allah, in your name, and sending peace and blessings on your Prophet, forgive me my sins and open the doors of blessings for me. It is a very comprehensive prayer which is to do with the mosque. To go into the mosque should be with the purest of intentions, and the only aim should be to remember Allah and to offer salat and to ask for forgiveness of one's sins. So while going there we should pray, and coming back we should pray as well. Imam Sahib is saying that these are usually written at the doors of the mosques for reminding us, and one should not forget these. One should read these prayers. So this is the first thing, as in the first tradition in this regard, that one should remember to pray these prayers while entering and while exiting the mosque, and you can say it in loudly as well, so the others are reminded as well. But you should definitely say it in your heart while entering the mosque and also while exiting the mosque, and this is essential to make sure we do this. The next tradition has been reported by Anas anhu, in which the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that the mosques are not so that people should urinate in them, or that you should spit in them. So the mosques are not for making dirty. Imam Sahib saying that obviously by the grace of God we do not see this extreme situation, but sometimes people's hands are not clean or their socks are not clean and they haven't cleaned their hands, and they use the same on the floor of the mosque. So such things, dirt comes into the mosque. So this we've been reminded not to do this, and one should keep the mosque clean of all types of unclean things, and this should be taken care of and ensured. And the reason for this has been mentioned by the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He said that the mosques are in order to remember Allah. They are specific for the remembrance of Allah, so that place must be kept clean, just as the Holy Quran should be held with clean hands. And if you want to hold the Quran or keep it somewhere, your hands should be clean. In the same way, to come to the mosque, it's a prerequisite that we should be clean. And the mosques are constructed for reciting the Quran. So so the cleanliness is extremely important, and a lot of detail of this is found in the traditions, that such things should not be eaten, such as raw onion or raw garlic, before coming to the mosque, because its foul smell not only disturbs the other people who are praying, but also the angels dislike these smells, and this is wrong. So this should be taken care of, that you should always become physically clean and also spiritually clean, and you should enter the home of Allah and humbly present oneself in the court of Allah and ask for forgiveness. And this is the summary of some of the etiquettes of the mosque, and may Allah enable us to remember these. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa barik wa sallam innaka Hamidum Majid.